Halloween is only 2 days away, and Nickelodeon growing up was one of my main sources of entertainment. As you all know, Nickelodeon is one of the most renowned companies to produce children's content, especially in the 90s through the 2010s. Halloween also growing up played an amazing part into my childhood, not just for the holiday itself, but for the time surrounding the holiday with all the cool Halloween show specials and things of that nature. Today, I'm going to be going over a few Nickelodeon Halloween specials that I loved as a kid. Now before I start this video, make sure to go drop a subscribe over to Morzave. That's where I upload gaming and all sorts of other videos. You know, I'm just trying to get that channel boosted just alongside this one, so go drop a subscribe, link in the description. Lastly, make sure to go check out the Twitch. I stream Pokemon, Fortnite, all types of other things over there. You name it, I'd most likely do it. So go drop a follow over there as well. Link will be in the description as well. Anyways, let's get right into the video. The SpongeBob SquarePants Halloween Special, Scaredy Pants. Now let's start off with a little bit of SpongeBob, shall we? As y'all can easily guess by looking through my videos, SpongeBob was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and shoot, even today. The episode Scaredy Pants consisted of SpongeBob being scared of anything and everything, but SpongeBob is tired of the folks at Bikini Bottom making fun of him for being scared all the time at little things. So SpongeBob develops an idea to go as a scary ghost for that year's Halloween, but quickly realizes that, well, he is square. So he asks his best friend Patrick to trim him down just a little bit. Finally, Patrick gets a sponge all trimmed up perfectly, and the cloak to resemble a ghost costume is fitting. The costume that SpongeBob is trying to replicate is the Flying Dutchman. SpongeBob and Patrick go around the town attempting to scare people, and they believe they are doing it, but the entire time, the residents of Bikini Bottom are just really confused. Then there is a costume party at the Krusty Krab where SpongeBob comes down from the roof trying to scare the people at the Krusty Krab, which is quickly shut down by laughter. Then suddenly the Flying Dutchman appears and is directly insulted by the terrible impersonation of himself portrayed by SpongeBob. That's until SpongeBob is revealed to be the most horrifying individual at this costume party once his costume is removed. This episode as a whole is not only one of my favorite Nickelodeon Halloween specials, but is one of my favorite episodes of SpongeBob alone. The writing, the plot, the jokes, the ending, everything top tier and flat out great. I remember getting home from school and grabbing my little remote and just flipping through the channel guide during the Halloween season and constantly searching to see if this episode was coming on that day. Might add, I kinda still do, that which shows how much appreciation I not only have for the episode, but shows how much appreciation I have for the OG days of SpongeBob SquarePants. Jimmy Neutron's Nightmare in Retroville. The iconic SpongeBob Halloween special sticks out to me a lot, but you know what else sticks out to me a lot? This episode right here, Nightmare in Retroville. Quite honestly, I don't see this episode ever get enough credit, which makes me fairly upset because this episode is golden in my eyes. The episode consists of Jimmy Neutron and his friends Sheen and Carl discussing what they're going to be going for Halloween. Carl says he's going to be a llama boy with a cape, and Jimmy and Sheen say to Carl that he has been a llama boy for the past 8 years and it isn't really that scary at all. The three of them go back into the house where Hugh is watching his favorite 1950s movie, Octopus Man. Carl asks Jimmy what he will be this year, if he will be Albert Einstein, Jet Fusion, or even Stephen Hawking. To Carl and Sheen's surprise, however, Jimmy says that he won't trick or treat since Halloween is kind of for kids, though technically they still are kids, as Sheen and Carl remind him. However, Jimmy makes a deal that he will make Carl and Sheen into monsters if they give him half of their candy. Jimmy initially suggests a quarter of the candy, but Sheen convinces him to make it half. They then go into Jimmy's lab where he presents them the Neutronic Monster Maker, a machine that can turn anyone into a monster of their choice. Sheen and Carl become very invested into the idea of this machine, even so much that they want to try this machine out for themselves. Carl chooses to be a vampire, while Sheen chooses to go as a werewolf. Jimmy turns them into the monsters, and they use the hover car to go trick-or-treating to go to more houses. Meanwhile, Hugh accidentally falls into Jimmy's lab and accidentally turns himself into Frankenstein's monster, rendering him unable to speak in complete sentences. But then suddenly, Jimmy's monster machine created his friends into legitimate monsters as they proceeded to terrorize the city. Now, I'm going to cut out the episode summary here, because this is one of those episodes that I'd rather y'all sit back and watch on your own time. This episode is kind of a tradition to me. Every single year, I watch this episode, although I haven't seen this episode this year, I kinda gotta get to it after this video, I'm not gonna lie. But when I think of the most memorable Halloween specials, honestly, this is one of the first things that comes to my mind, not even just talking about Nickelodeon. The Fairly Odd Parents, Scary Godparents. Now, I want to talk about one last cartoon here. The Fairly Odd Parents Halloween special called Scary Godparents is another episode that I personally feel like is largely forgotten. Because of what I feel like the episode being forgotten is, I'm once again only going to be giving a short synopsis of this episode and allow y'all to enjoy the episode on your own time. Scary Godparents takes place on Halloween night with Timmy in a lame costume, stuck trick-or-treating with Vicky. Timmy decides to wish that everybody's costumes were real and scary, including his own mummy costume. However, disaster strikes when the rich kids turn into giant monster robots, striking similarities to the episode of Jimmy Neutron, Nightmare, and Retroville, except that the only difference right here is that Jimmy Neutron, they used a machine to convert themselves into monsters, and in this episode of Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy uses his godparents to wish for the costumes to be real. The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Remember when I said Fairly Odd Parents episode was going to be the last cartoon? Well, I wasn't lying. The Boy Who Cried Werewolf was one of the first appearances of Victoria Justice that we saw, and honestly a movie that is not well respected by critics as it has a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb. The plot of the movie is Jordan Sands is an allergy-prone, awkward, nerdy teenager who has been left to be the woman of the house since her mother's death and her widowed father is struggling with her younger brother, Hunter Sands, with his gory pranks. The family goes to Wolfburg to honor the famous Wolfburg beast. As they meet the strange and steely housekeeper, Madame Varkalok, the Sands visit goes weird when a freak lab accident, which a vial of LB-217 in which Jordan steps in, as Hunter gets the vial shard out of Jordan's foot and starts developing into a transformation into a werewolf. Now, this movie I haven't seen in quite some time. Although while scrolling through Netflix earlier today, I was met with this movie and it immediately brought back memories, as every single Halloween season for when I was younger, this movie was always on the television. I feel as if this movie is honestly highly underrated and highly underappreciated. If you have not seen this movie, what are you doing? We got 2 days till Halloween. Go turn this on, man! That is going to do it for today, everybody. Thank you guys for watching my video on the Nickelodeon Halloween Specials that I like a lot. Remember, guys, this is all personal opinion, so if you don't like these Halloween Specials, it's all good. But if you also haven't checked these out, man, go check them out. We have 2 days till Halloween. But anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. And it has been your boy, Zave out. Peace.